Hey, welcome back. Dave DeBow here. And today we're going to be talking about the fifth big reason for you to be a guest on a podcast as a real estate investor. And that is that this is a way for you to grow personally as a professional, as a real estate investor, and just as a person. So being interviewed on a podcast, if you haven't done that before, it's going to stretch you. It's going to take you out of your comfort zone. And that is always a good thing. When you're interviewed on a podcast, if you haven't done that before, it's going to stretch you, it's going to scare you a little bit, but overcoming that is going to be a huge personal win for you. It's going to inspire other people. It's going to lead you to try other different things that might be out of your comfort zone as well. And at the end of the day, it just really feels good when you do something that stretches you a little bit. So I don't know about you, but way back in the day, I had a pretty big fear of public speaking. Most people do. We've all heard that it's the number one fear. More people are afraid of public speaking than death, all these kind of weird things. And I can kind of see why. I remember way back in the day, I was invited to be, I was the best man at my best friend's wedding, and I had to give a speech. And I was scared spitless of doing this. And quite frankly, I sucked at it. I didn't do a very good job of that first speech, but that inspired me to go out and get some training and get much more comfortable with it. And then guess what? Nowadays, public speaking is a huge part of what I do, but it all started somewhere. So if you've got an absolute fear of speaking in public, getting interviewed on a podcast is a great first step. It's a great baby step. Why do I say that? Because really, when you are being interviewed on a podcast, it's not public speaking per se. It's more like a conversation. Most podcasts have the host and they have the guest, and the two of them are together on Zoom or just over audio, and they are having a conversation. It's back and forth. It's just like you sitting down with somebody over coffee and having a chat. So if you're petrified about public speaking, start off with podcasting because it's just so much easier. It's not a whole group of people. Yes, a group of people will end up hearing it, but they're not going to be all together in a theater watching you. They're going to be individually listening to your podcast episode or watching the video on their phone or on their screen or on their tablet, and that's it, one at a time. So this is a great way for you to get started and stretch that comfort zone a little bit when it comes to public speaking. And I can't tell you how many people I've interviewed on my show that it was their first experience doing a podcast interview. And they're all of them were completely nervous ahead of time and will work very, very hard to calm them down. And then once they got into it, it's like almost anything, right? Once they got into it and they realized it was just really a chat, just really a conversation, they calmed down, they relaxed, and we had a great time. And at the end of it, when I pressed stop, they all said, hey, that was a lot easier than I thought it would be. It was a lot more fun than I thought it would be. And I think I'd like to do more of this. And that's what you can do as well. So again, this is a great way for you to develop as a person, for you to overcome some of your fears, for you to realize some of those goals that you've had that you haven't really gone after yet. It's just by taking a baby step and being interviewed on a podcast. That can be mine, that can be somebody else's, but get interviewed on podcasts. It's just, there's so many benefits to it. This one is just all about your personal development. If it's something that you're scared of, you should seriously consider it. Now, I've got a great opportunity for you. If you're interested in being a guest on a podcast, well, guess what? I've got one of those, and I'm looking for guests. I'm looking for everyday people investing in real estate, just like you, to come onto my show, to share their experiences, to have a great conversation, to kind of give them a little bit of a boost when it comes to their own self-concept and their self-confidence as well. If you like that idea, then go to daveinterviewsyou.com or click on the link in the description below and book your call.